Tesla is well known in the automotive world for its high-performance electric vehicles, its over-the-air software updates, and its innovative approach to the whole vehicle ownership experience. It's also the first automotive company for more than half a century to go from startup to successful volume production, making it something of a role model for companies seeking to follow a similar path from zero to hero. I should of course acknowledge here that the definition of hero, or rather a successful company, is somewhat subjective. After all, Tesla still has some way to go before it turns a profit which traditionally many would have used as a yardstick for deciding if the company was successful or not. But I do think it's fair to argue that in the context of the automotive world and what Tesla's managed to do thus far, that it's certainly succeeded in its goal to bring all electric vehicles to market that not only challenge the status quo, but get other companies to follow suit. Which leads me nicely to a handful of electric car startups that, either expressly or indirectly, are following in Tesla's tyre tracks. The question is, which ones will succeed and which ones will fail? Before I get going, I should acknowledge that EV history is littered with a whole number of startups which tried and failed to do what Tesla is doing right now. So history really isn't on the side of any of the companies I'm talking about today. But my goal here is to try and at least figure out which companies have a chance and which ones don't. First up, Rimac. While Rimac isn't going after Tesla in the luxury car segment, the Croatian company is most certainly after Tesla's crown as the world's fastest electric automaker. And with its Rimac One already highly acclaimed and capable of delivering the goods, Rimac's second car, due to be unveiled at the 2018 Geneva Motor Show, is promising to go after Tesla's recently announced second-generation Roadster. Will it succeed? Well, Rimac doesn't appear to want volume automaker status like Tesla. Instead, it seems to be going after the high-performance and high-value market, and thus far, it seems to be attracting lots of attention. It also has the engineering prowess to succeed. As for its financials, well, I've not heard any bad news or rumours about massive debts, so I think Rimac certainly has the potential to continue to bigger and better things, even if it does remain a niche market vehicle manufacturer. Next, let's look at Faraday Future. This company has made no bones about the fact that it wants Tesla's crown in the luxury high-performance segment, with its first planned production vehicle, the FF91, promising better than Tesla performance, long-range capabilities, rapid charging, and full autonomy. The FF91 also has a boatload of promised onboard tech that mimics Tesla's in-car systems, as well as some extra things that Tesla doesn't feature yet, such as facial recognition entry systems. It's also managed to attract a high number of former Tesla and other auto industry executives and engineers for its payroll. But while the FF91 sounds great, the company itself hasn't had the easiest of times. Like Tesla, it's burned through a lot of cash, but unlike Tesla, it doesn't have anything to show for it yet. What's more, with several court cases in progress against Faraday Future and its principal backer in trouble in his home country of China for financial problems, the future of Faraday Future doesn't look very good. It's also lost some of the talent it worked so hard to acquire. It's also recently said it's had a cash injection promise of more than $1.5 billion, but only time will tell if that makes any difference at all to this troubled company. As a company which exited stealth last year, Byton is most certainly the newcomer to this list, and while it does look a little like another Faraday Future, it does seem to have a much more grounded team with more realistic expectations. Additionally, while it does contain a huge amount of tech, it does seem to want to follow the open source community model, at least to some degree, allowing developers to work with it whenever possible. And with China expected to be its key launch market, Byton may just have a chance. But here's the problem. While Byton's concept car, the one we saw in January at CES, seemed very nice, it's just a concept car. At the moment, although we're told there's a factory being built right now in China and Byton's first EV will launch next year, details about the production version of this vehicle seem a little thin on the ground. And then there's the claimed starting price of $45,000, something which seems too good to be true. I'd put Byton's success odds higher than Faraday Future's, but both of these companies seem a very long way from becoming the next Tesla. A company with more chance to follow Tesla into successful volume production perhaps is NIO, a Chinese firm which is already far further along than the two previous companies I've mentioned. For a start, NIO, as well as being involved in Formula E, is already selling its first production car, the ES8 SUV, in China. It also seems to have more tangible production goals, and assuming its fit and finish and engineering is as good as it claims it is, could launch this vehicle in other markets with limited fuss. Finally, I should throw a shout out to Fisker Inc., a new company which promises that its e-motion will offer long-range, autonomous capabilities and super fast charging too, all in a sleek, sexy EV. Designed by Henrik Fisker, the e-motion is beautiful, but the e-motion is overshadowed by the failure of Fisker's previous car company, the one that made the Fisker Karma. So it's hard to say if this company he's got now will succeed. Fisker says he's learned valuable lessons, but until the vehicles start to roll off the production line, I'm going to stay cautious on this one. Do you think any of these companies I've talked about today have a chance to follow Tesla into the EV marketplace, either with mass-produced or at least continued volume vehicle production? Or will they be doomed in their failure? Let me know in the comments below. That's it. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.